The unrest in Ukraine took a deadly turn today. Street fighting between pro-Russians and pro-Ukrainians in the port city of Odessa spiraled out of control. A union building was lit on fire and more than 40 people died, most of them from smoke inhalation. Good evening and thank you for joining us. This has been one of the deadliest days yet in the 3-month standoff in Ukraine. Violence has flared up in 2 cities. Ukraine's government says many pro-Russian militants were killed in an offensive launched in the eastern city of Sloviansk, while for the first time the violence spread to Odessa. This comes as Canada is now sending troops to the region to take part in military exercises. Eric Sorensen has more on the escalating stakes.
Canadian forces are on the move over the crisis in Ukraine. 6 CF-18 fighter jets are on their way from Bagotville, Quebec to Romania. The frigate HMCS Regina is being diverted from the Arabian Sea to a location in the region. And today, 50 personnel from CFB Edmonton were deployed to conduct infantry and parachute training in Poland. No frontline confrontations with Russia, but a coordinated message of condemnation from Ottawa to Moscow.
The Putin regime's persistent military aggression and its ongoing illegal occupation of Crimea and other parts of Ukraine threaten the stability and security of Central and Eastern Europe.
In Washington, U.S. President Obama and German Chancellor Merkel met to hammer out further sanctions against Russia.
Mr. Putin and his leadership circle are taking bad decisions and unnecessary decisions, and he needs to be dissuaded from his current course.
Germany is key. It relies on Russian energy, but appears willing to take an economic hit.
Should that not be possible to stabilize the situation further sanctions will be unavoidable.
Ukrainian forces did regain ground today, encircling Sloviansk, taking pro-Russian personnel captive. But it was met with further threats from Moscow, a spokesman for President Putin saying this destroys the last hope to defuse tension. There were reports today of 2 helicopters being shot down. And in Odessa, some of the deadliest violence so far. Several people killed in clashes between pro-Ukrainian and pro-Russian supporters. And this crisis now is closer to home.
We will continue to work with our allies and our partners to further isolate Russia.
Ottawa is sending Canadian soldiers, a Navy vessel, and Canadian aircraft into the region just as tensions heat up. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Washington.